All right, welcome to our meeting on collaboration and across teams. We're going to talk about a few different things for our store locations and team meetings. So the first thing is team communication in the workplace. Communication as a team is vital to the success of our organization. So as we better learn our communication skills, we're able to more effectively accomplish our goals within a reasonable time frame. So our purpose for team communication is to advance our success and the success of the organization and accomplish tasks more efficiently, pull ideas and experiences, provide member feedback, generate insight, become problem solvers, and adapt to strengths and quirks of other team members. So first we need to know the difference between a group and a team. So a group is formed around a common interest or purpose, and their goal is to share information and they have no collective accountability. And then a team has collective performance, individual and group accountability, and they meet regularly to accomplish tasks and bring various skilled members together to accomplish a common goal. So now we're going to talk about a couple different types of teams that I think will be most effective for our organization. And each type has a specific purpose and provides an important means of communication between team members. So the first is cross-functional teams, and they're more of a permanent or long-term type team. They provide diverse experience and implement new solutions. So they need to have a strong leader and specific goals. And if you don't have a leader or specific goals, this team kind of falls apart. So you have to have a strong leader and a specific goal in mind. The next one is a task force, and they're a group or committee of experts or specialists, and they analyze and investigate as well as solve problems. So they come up with solutions and they come up with preventative measures to avoid mistakes in the future. So this little picture kind of shows that everything is connected and there's a fine balance for contribution between members, and that everything has to be balanced for the members to reach peak performance. So there needs to be the belief that members are capable of working together to reach goals for each individual to be self-confident and their performance to be well so they can have success. And then there are 4 different roles in each team. There's a leader that brings in the focus and they mediate conflict as well as ensure accountability in individuals. And then the note taker or scribe, they document meetings and distribute notes. So if they need to look back at anything, they can do that. There's also lessons learned tracker. So they track all outcomes, good, bad, whatever it may be, and they gather the inputs of the individuals so that they can go back and say, okay, this is what we did good, this is what we did bad, and then implement that in the next meeting. And then the devil's advocate, which is my favorite, they bring up alternate ideas and they embrace conflict. So they bring different points of view to the table so that every point of view is looked at and everyone's point of view is heard. So to summarize, teams are to help individuals obtain a common goal. There are different types of teams that are for different purposes, and there's a fine balance for effective member contribution, as well as defined roles with specific purposes.
Okay, I will be focusing on collaborative projects within a team. As we have seen from the class and things, teams tend to create better outcomes than individuals working alone. Several employees on a team from various backgrounds leads to more creative and thought out decisions. And this is not a new concept to us. We know that when you bring people together from different backgrounds, Each individual brings something new to the table that other members might not have known before. And this is especially helpful when it comes to making decisions. So first up, we have the decision style theory. This theory examines the context for decisions. So on the graph in the corner, you have value orientation on the bottom side, and then cognitive complexity on the left-hand side. And the different theories that you can get from that. The first one is directive. These people expect results. They need structure. They're aggressive. They act rapidly. They're very verbal. They have a strong need for power, and they like rules. The second one is analytical. These people are more logical. They enjoy solving problems and puzzles, and they want the best answer. They will use data to find their answers and have a careful analysis, and they have a strong need for challenges. The next theory is conceptual. These people are more in the right brain and thinking. They are creative and humanistic. They have a broad focus and are future oriented. They seek independence and have a strong need for recognition. And then lastly, there's behavioral. These people are more doing. They are people-oriented and supportive and empathetic. They prefer communication and discussion and use intuition rather than data. So no matter your personality or your decision-making style, you should learn as a team how to make decisions in a way that benefits you best. So the 4 different ways you can make decisions are a consensus. So group members must participate in creating the decision and carrying it out. Voting, everyone has an equal say in the outcome of the decision as long as they vote. Compromise, each member gives up something as well as gains something. And authority rule, this one requires essentially no input from the group, although the group's participation may be necessary for implementing the decision. I would say in my experience that consensus is harder to get to, but one that makes everyone happy. With voting, compromise, and authority rule, you're always going to have someone that's not happy with the outcome. So you just have to take that into consideration when you're picking a decision making style for your team. And one thing that you want to avoid is groupthink. So this is when members of the group, they all start to tend to think together, and that results in self-deception, forced consent, and a conformity to group values and ethics. So that's if a whole bunch of people in a group are focusing one way and you have a different opinion, but because everyone else is so strongly opinionated, you don't want to say your opinion because it might not be accepted. So there are a bunch of tools for communicating in teams. Personally, I like Google Workspace. This is what we use in my current job, and I love it. It's very user-friendly, accessible from anywhere, and has all different kinds of communicating. You can collaborate on a wide variety of projects with the Google Workspace. So I like to use for meeting scheduling Doodle, for quick conversations, Google Hangouts or the Google Chat feature in email. Conferencing, we use Zoom or the Google conferencing. And then project management, there's a Microsoft project that's new, and that's been really highly rated, but I've never tried that one. One thing that you will have to do in a team at some point is a kind of collaborative writing. And there are a few different ways that you can do that. First off, you can have a single writer. So this is when the strongest writer writes the document with the team, supporting their efforts in the research, review, and rewriting. You can have a writing by committee, which is when the writing is broken down to individual team skills with everyone contributing to the writing process. And then you can have multiple writers. Each member writes the section they are an expert in. Final editing will be needed to mesh the different styles together. Writing by committee and multiple writers are similar to each other, but different in the sense of when you're writing by committee, you're focusing your breakdown on writing skills rather than expertise in the field that you're writing about. But no matter the way you divide it up, you always want to follow the writing process where you do your outline first, then you do your writing, and then your revision. Then in conclusion, we all have different ways that we make decisions. Knowing what your coworker styles are can help when it comes to making decisions. There are 4 main ways of making decisions. Find a way that works best for you and your team. There are many tools available for team communication. Find something easy to use that also has many different functions and allows for collaboration. And then when it comes to collaborative writing, find a way that works best for your team, and don't forget to follow the basic writing steps for accuracy.
Okay, so I had establishing workplace etiquette. So a few things along the lines of the importance of etiquette. It helps to support positive attitude, builds company morale, helps with employee retention, improves company communication, and builds a professional attitude. So a few things along the line of workplace etiquette. A few good things to do is helping coworkers and being open-minded, along with being flexible. Also, some things that aren't helpful to the workplace is gossiping in the workplace, interrupting others, overuse of personal electronic devices. As we can see here, there's a lot of different things that can contribute to workplace etiquette, and there's a lot of different things that also can be established on individual levels or in a more team level that can help teams to decide what their etiquette is and what needs to happen in individual groups as well. So a few ways for implementing etiquette. One of the biggest ways to do that is to broad company-wide trainings. This can include doing through different branches or different groups in which everybody is trained. This can have the greatest effect because it can basically bring everybody onto the same page at the same time. It's also important to continue that process through new hire trainings. As new employees are hired, it's important that they understand what's expected of them in the company and in the areas that they're going to serve, so that they know what's expected of them and how they need to act. And that can help also to train the company as they go in already knowing. It can help to support the values that are already there. Also, with etiquette is supporting and rewarding positive behaviors for those that show good etiquette and carry out good actions. It's important that you support them as managers, that they receive the support and feedback that they need to know that they're doing a good job and to continue on. So in conclusion, like I said, it's very good to implement an area of support. It's very important for employees to know that they're doing a good job and that they are performing proper etiquette in the workplace. Also giving employees reason to work with etiquette to reward them, and also make it a good thing for them, and make sure that everybody is on the same page and understands what needs to happen. That's just a few things about etiquette. There's a lot more that can be done with it. But that's a few of the basics. Thank you.
By the way, I'm McCrae, Kenlee Thompson in the system.
Yep,
I'm
and I'm
Hannah.
Shan Thompson.
Stop share.